So question 5, we are given a function and its graph, and the question, I'll just slide down to show you here, is sketch the graph of the reciprocal of the function on the axis below. So I'll actually do it upstairs. We're getting 4 marks for this part, and then we'll see what comes next. So here we go, question 5. So the first mark is probably for putting some poles in at the roots here. So we've got 1. I'd always label them. X is -3, X is equal to 1 here. Next mark is probably for having a cusp around this point here. Also, make sure there's some very easy marks here. So we know that this is 1 and this is -1, and of course 1 over 1 is going nowhere and 1 over -1 is going nowhere. So those 3 points are definites that the examiners will expect your curve to go through. Then also there's a couple of easy ones because this is a straight line. So this is a half. 1 over a half will be 2. And halfway between these two will be a quarter, and 1 over a quarter will be 4. So that gives us another bunch of points here, 8 more points that we actually can plot very quickly just to get an idea of where this curve is going. And then we just need a nice smooth curve through the downstairs parts and the upstairs to get our final 4 marks. And here this time, hence give the domain and range for h of x. Now, there's some kind of features that are familiar from the graph that we just looked at, where f of x was 1 minus the absolute value. And if you combine this into one function, here I go, 2 minus absolute value of x plus 1 over 2, and then flip it upside down so that we've got 2 over 2 minus x plus 1, and then double it, we realize that h of x is twice the 1 over f of x graph. And so for this one, we're basically looking back at our previous page, and I put a copy of it down here. And the domain is simply going to be that x must not be -3 or 1. So that's the first part here. And then for the range, we can see that there's this kind of no man's land across the middle here, but we've got a minimum here. So we know that y is always going to be at least 2 or more. But we never quite come up to 0 from below. So there's 2 parts to the range, that y is going to be less than 0 and y will be greater than or equal to 2. But as soon as you spot the connection between f and h, then this is a pretty straightforward 3.